Boom. Salmonan. Very, very sensitive topic. I'm talking about infidelity in relationships. I'm going to try and keep it as serious as possible. There is a person that you guys can't see behind the cameras trying to make me laugh. Be it as it may, it is a very sensitive topic that we need to really, really unpack and talk about. In today's time, the level of Phineas and Ferb, opportunosis by Ferb, it's on an all-time high. You know, people are cheating left, right, and center. Whether people are cheating in relationships, you know, choli. After 2 weeks, you guys are still cheating. 6 months, you guys are cheating. Married couples are cheating. Everybody's cheating. You know, your granny's cheating, your uncle's cheating, and it is making it tougher and tougher in 2023 to really get into a committed relationship where you are dealing with so much insecurity. Whereas I'm not too sure. I think back in the day it was at a lesser rate. I'm not saying that our mothers and our grandmothers didn't make mistakes, but it feels almost as if in today's time, it is so normal to cheat. If you don't, then you're weird. Cheating is probably, in my humble opinion, one of the most painful things that can happen in a relationship. It's crazy, you know, because anything else that happens in a relationship, there are real life repercussions or consequences or punishment for that. So as much as we talk about the toxic GBV culture, as much as we talk about the toxic rape culture, there are actual real life consequences for that. However, when it comes to cheating in a relationship, there's nothing. Well, nothing really, you know, unless you are married and there's a clause in your contract, in your marriage agreement, in your whatever the case may be, whoever cheats then loses all the property and all the stuff. Generally speaking, there tends to be no repercussions. You know, if I'm in a relationship with Tosisi and we've been dating for 6 months, you know, and she then stays at my place and, you know, she helps out in the groceries, whatever the case is, but then I cheat and she walks in and she sees me with another lady, she's broken. You know, psychologically, she's fucked, she's hurt, she's in tears. What are the repercussions? You know, the repercussions that she stays losing because now she's hurt. On top of that, she's the one that needs to leave my place. So it's almost like she's losing twice. She's losing one in terms of the fact that she's been hurt by my toxic behavior, but then she has to leave and go somewhere else. If she then decides out of anger to slap me or punch me, you know, the real life repercussions with something like that is that I can then really go to court and I can open a case, and I can make sure she spends time in prison, holding cells, whatever. She's got a criminal record. So I had a conversation about a couple of hours ago with a really good friend of mine, and we were talking about these things. And I was saying with you, sorry guys, there's I don't know if it's a helicopter, it's a Banoi, it's something. What is it? Banoi? It's a helicopter. I hope it doesn't mess up the sound too much. So we were having this conversation earlier around how society is fucked, you know, how our sisters can't find a good man, how our brothers are not finding good sisters, or how sometimes our brothers can't find good brothers. And as you pick what you want. But the reality is, part of that is the fear in today's time. I'll commit to someone who's not really committed to me, or I'll commit to someone who keeps, cheating on me or keeps being, you know, unfaithful to me. And they'll continue. Guys, if we go back and we look at certain cultures, certain religions, there's public stoning, public hanging, public execution, public lynching. If you do a crime, whatever the crime may be, you know, the most toxic, most heinous crimes, publicly they'd stone you, publicly they'd hang you. Why? One is public shame, so that the criminal doesn't do it again. But secondly, so that people around you get to see how toxic this is and the repercussions, so that they don't do it again. I'm a huge fan of finding punishment for infidelity. I cannot believe that infidelity is only seen as immoral, but it's not illegal. If you're trying to build a society, if you're trying to build a country, you need to make rape illegal. You need to make GBV illegal. You need to make something as immoral as infidelity even if it's a jollering phase, it has to be legal. Because if I slap my girlfriend, I go to prison. The same way that if I cheat on my girlfriend, there needs to be something equivalent. There has to be. I don't have the answers. I can spitball. I can say, okay, Pensin, if your girl cheats on you, if your wife cheats on you, what's the equivalent that you're looking for? She must tattoo my name here. And then, like, what's those cultures? Is it the Latino cultures where they put a tear? Then she must do a tear here. So they must write my name here, and so that one, you get publicly shunned and shamed, and two, so that other people can see, this person's made a mistake. Fine, she can leave me, and then she can be with Pendugan. If she cheats on Pendugan, she wrote me in black ink, she must write Pendugan in red ink and a red tear. And maybe she cheated on Pendugan twice, and she has 2 drops. So that people can see. And then what will happen with that is that we'll create a culture where when guys and girls cheat, there's actually real life consequences for such, and hopefully it will curb such negative behavior. That's how we stop it. The reality of the life is that if, even with kids in matric that wrote matric, there has to be an invigilator, because people cheat. Even if you're studying theology and umfundis, when you write an exam, there's an invigilator in there, because it's in temp. There has to be punishment for your crime, or else you're going to constantly and continuously do the same thing. If I could steal imoto yaga G4S, and there's no consequences, I'll keep doing it over and over. So if it means that I get to cheat with no real life consequences, especially if I'm done with this lady, or this lady's not making me feel a type of way, she's not giving me attention, she's not loving me the way she used to, I can then continuously cheat with no real life repercussions. And the worst case is her leaving, meaning that I can continue sleeping with multiple people and go back to my place in peace, where there's no one who's got all these throw blankets and hundreds of cushions on my bed. You get where I'm trying to go with this? Meanwhile, on the other side, psychologically, she's fucked, she's hurt, she's bleeding, she's crying, and it makes society worse and worse and worse and worse, But at the same time, it also just, it's a way to kind of guide us. It's a way to kind of steer us to where we'd like society to go. Our sisters are forever crying. Ukuthi uPhendukane cheated, uSifiso cheated, uSibongizeni cheated. They are forever crying, and they're never getting any sort of justice for the way that guys are moving. And the guys are also bleeding at the same time, because they now try to hold back the mistakes that our sisters do, because there's no repercussions. If you look at it back in the day, if we go back into the traditionalist way of looking at it, if our mothers or grandmothers made a mistake and they were found out to make a mistake, what that does is that it kind of lowers them in the social hierarchy, and it lowers their status, because now global, at the end of the day, because you are this type of person, So again, there has to be some sort of punishment to curb this negative behavior. We all agree it's immoral. We all agree that it's painful, especially from a psychological and a mental part. We all agree. So why is it that we're not finding formalized, fixated ways of fixing this? If it means that if you cheat on me, then I get to sleep with your sister or with your mom, something extreme, so that it kind of stops you from even thinking about it. Where you're like, if I ever cheat on Upensin and he finds out, then legally he gets to sleep with my mom. I don't want that. Legally he gets to sleep with my best friend. He gets to sleep with my sister. I don't want that. So again, we're managing. I don't want to get his name tattooed around my neck and a tear, so that the whole world can see my negative behavior. So guys, I don't know. I'm not saying I know everything. What I do know is that infidelity is so painful. Whether you guys have been dating for 6 months or whether you guys have been married for 6 years, it is painful. Just varying degrees, but it's painful. How can we find ways as a society to build? We all agree that it's immoral. We all agree that it's painful. Yet there's no real life consequences. So please, in the comments, write ways that you can think about how we can fix this from a societal point. Please like this video, share this video, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all those good things. Just know it's ngiyantanda, and wena mawuhethi umuntu egange ngawe uhile mntakama. Anyway, nibe great. Sure.